Hello everyone, welcome back to The Budget Sportsman. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Tonight I'm doing something different, something I haven't done in a long time. I'm hunting from a ladder stand. And guys, I love being mobile. I love hunting from a saddle, but there's something about hunting from a ladder stand that's pretty sweet. Climb up in this thing, nice and easy, sit down in a super comfortable seat. The reason I'm doing this tonight is because I was struggling to know where to go with the wind directions, some spots that I wanted to revisit that the wind wasn't quite right. And I actually went to one spot where I thought the wind would be just off. It was going to be, if it was west, it was bad. If it was northwest, I could get away with it. And I kept checking the wind on the way there, and it was just switching back and forth. And eventually I just decided to call it. By the time I called that spot, it was getting kind of late to go pick another spot. And so I ended up just jumping up in this ladder stand. I've only got about 2 hours before dark. It should be the rut. Haven't seen a ton of activity yet. It's been warm, but I'm hoping that maybe we'll at least see some activity tonight. Meh. Well, guys, I've had some time to process what happened and figure out some answers. Right when I shot that deer tonight, I was just flabbergasted. I did not want to talk about it on camera, but I know I'm ready to talk about it now. First of all, the bad news is you saw on video, I hit guts. The good news is I was coming out and she went the way that I had to come out, and there really wasn't a good other option. And as I started coming out, deer started running, and I was like, oh man, if she runs, it's going to be very difficult to find her. Fortunately, as I was coming out, I was on the e-bike, and the e-bike doesn't seem to spook deer very much. And I ended up seeing her laying about 10 yards off the trail, a couple other deer standing there. I even stopped, and she did not budge. Her head was down, but her ears were up. I don't think she was dead yet, but she was hurt bad. She didn't budge. She didn't move. And so I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to recover her. Doesn't make it any easier. You hate to see a deer suffer like that. The other bad news is that there was an issue with my bow. And what I feel really bad about is I should have caught it. Yesterday, I was heading into hunt, and I came across a flock of turkeys. And I kind of belly crawled up to them and got within bow range, and I shot and missed. And the arrow flew really weird.
And what I assumed happened was I'm shooting an expandable right now. I've never done that before, but this season I've been trying out an expandable. And I assumed that when I was belly crawling through the grass that I must have popped open the blades of the expandable and that it didn't fly right. I just made that assumption and I shouldn't have assumed. Tonight, when I shot that doe and the arrow flew way left, I knew something was up. I had taken my time. I really felt like I settled in. Everything was good. And when it flew way left, I'm like, something's up. So I came back to the house, turned on the outside lights to the shed, and had enough light to shoot. And instantly I noticed the way the arrow and the sight were lining up. I'm like, something's not right here. And so I thought it was the sights at first, and then eventually I realized that my rest had come loose. So my rest was loose and way, way off to the left. And so that was the cause of the miss. It makes me feel a little bit better that it wasn't just me being a lousy shot. Nonetheless, it still is difficult to handle. I should have checked the bow after the miss on the turkey yesterday. Just wish I would have caught it. I hate to see that deer suffer. Like I said, the good news is she was laying there. I'm pretty sure she's not going to move, and I'm pretty sure we're going to recover her if we give her a little bit of time. So, man, this season has been rough. If you saw my last video, I shot a buck and didn't recover, and then I did shoot a doe and recover it. But been a little bit of a rough season. But I think we're going to recover this one, and I think it's going to be okay. But man, it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes when this stuff happens. But all right, I'll check back in with you, and hopefully we get our hands on her. Well, I came out this morning and found this deer. Really thankful with the help of my wife. I've mentioned before I'm a little bit colorblind, but she did a great job on the blood trail. And thankfully we found this deer. I came out after a couple hours last night because I'd seen her laying right by the trail on my way out and looked like she was hurting pretty bad. So I came out after a couple of hours hoping she'd be dead right there. And she wasn't, so I found her bed and I just didn't push anything more than that. I came out this morning, followed the blood out of those beds, and were able to find her. So it's pretty cool overnight, about 37 degrees this morning still, and so I'm hopeful that the meat's going to be okay. I'm also really grateful that at least, I mean, it's a bad way to go. I hate that this happened to this deer, but I am grateful that I at least found out about the problem with my bow, got it all fixed up, shooting great again, and now on to hopefully harvesting a buck. Thankful for my family being out here helping me, and thankful for some more meat in the freezer. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.